Hello again, Year 3, and welcome to your third topic video of week 2 of the last summer term. I hope you enjoyed the last lesson as much as I did, eating the French food and trying the French food, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you put on Tapestry about what you liked and disliked about that. Today's topic lesson is all about human geography. Now, I hope you remember from our work last term what human geography is. Obviously, last term we looked at the kind of things that we study when we look at human geography, and those were things like landmarks of countries, capital cities, the language they speak, which obviously in France is French, the government system, how the politics, how it's organised, the history of the country, what are the key things that happened in their history, like for us, for example, the Romans invaded France, and I know that when we did some work previously, we looked at the Lascaux caves and the cave paintings from early man, and those obviously are in France. So it has a long history. And in fact, its history is very connected to our history through the Normans and the Norman invasion, etc. Look at money. You can look at money, how wealthy a country is, what kind of money, what kind of currency they use, how the wealth is distributed, who owns what, whether they earn more or less than another country. You can look at some of the other main cities, and obviously France has some fantastically attractive and beautiful cities across the whole country. You could look at the economy. What's the economy like? What are their main produce? Is it the same throughout, or do different parts of the country produce different things? I'm sure you can all work out some of the main things different parts of France economy is based on, be it tourism or wine or champagne or food, etc. So what is the economy of France? I think you'll find it's very mixed. You can look at the population. France is a very diverse country. Like most European countries, at the present time, it has a very diverse population, has a very distinctive culture, and we've already looked at the fantastic foods. So when we're looking at human geography, we're looking at these human factors about how people live in their country or in their landscape. So what we're going to do today is, what I want you to do is I want you to get a piece of paper and lay it out a bit like this one below. So 3 columns, and then on the first column, I want you to put maybe some subheadings. The ones I've got here are population, which is the total number of people, population density, how closely they have to live with each other, you know, how many people you get into a very specific area, because obviously that does affect quality of life. Average salary, how much does the average person earn? Are people in London wealthier than people in Paris, or is it the other way around? The number of museums, so cultural items like the number of museums. Here's an interesting one for a lot of you, is the number of top division football clubs. Compare that from London to Paris. We all know, we've all heard of PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. What about London? I'm sure we can name some of the famous football clubs in London. And here's an interesting one. The average cost of a meal in McDonald's. Is it the same all over the world, or is it different? How much would it cost in London compared to how much it would cost in Paris? Number of airports, and then look at some of the similarities between London and some of the differences between London and Paris. Now, last time I produced loads and loads of stats for you, and we went through them on the video, but now you should be able to do that research yourself. So you can look on the internet, look in books, and see if you can do some of the research on these items and fill out these columns for yourself. Now, just to help you, there is a very helpful website, which I've put the address down below, but that's not the only one you could use. In fact, you could have your own subheadings, things that really interest you about human geography, and you could do your own research, but the one that the website below will be really helpful for you. So that's your task, to do some research and compare living in London with living in Paris from a human geographical point of view. So you did something very similar with Atlanta, but we did the comparison for physical geography. This time we're doing it for human geography, which is obviously slightly different. Now, discussion. So at the end of that, what I want you to do is talk to someone about what you have learned from your research today and from your work on Paris and London in previous lessons, and talk about which city you would now prefer to live in, and obviously why. Maybe you would prefer to move to Paris, and maybe there's some good reasons for that. Maybe it's the pain au chocolat, or maybe you would prefer to still live in London or near London. So, from your research, from what you found out, from the comparisons, which city would you like to live in? But more importantly, why have you made your choice? Maybe you can put a couple of sentences at the bottom of your work, and I look forward to seeing the work once again when you upload it to Tapestry, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week for our topic videos next week. Have a great weekend.